Hello friends, we are going to look at the island of Trinidad, which is part of the country called Trinidad and Tobago, and we're going to look at the southern part. We're going all the way to Moruga, but that's not where we're going to start. We're going to start in a place called Prince's Town. Not Princess Town, Prince's Town. That's Prince's Town there. I have many videos of Prince's Town, and we're going to be following Moruga Road all the way down south. What some people will know it as Deep South, all the way to Moruga, and some within that area as well. Now, usually I make videos that show the details of a specific area and then the road trip to there. But before you do anything, make sure to subscribe. It's free. All you have to do is click the subscribe button, like, and let others know about JB's Man Cave. It's very much appreciated. We're on the Naparima Mayaro Road right now, heading east, leaving Princess Town. I stopped here because sometimes my camera and the battery needs changing, or it just goofs up and I have to reset it. So once that is done, I continue. Still on Naparima Mayaro Road. So as I was saying, usually in 5.3K, I will record a specific part of an area and show that as an individual video. But there's also the road trip that, I spent time getting to that location, and that's what these are. And even though I cover a lot of Trinidad and Tobago, I do have other things on JB's Man Cave, and those of you who are familiar with JB's Man Cave will know I feature many other countries and many other subject matter. It's not just, travel and looking at Trinidad or Trinidad issues, but other countries, looking at what makes other countries grow and prosper. Sometimes I'll cover sports, the English Premier League or the World Cup that has gone by, things like that. There's something for everybody. Really, I treat JB's Man Cave like a literal channel. And when I say that, a channel, just like, you go to a TV channel and you expect different kinds of content at different times and so forth. My channel is very similar. Sometimes you might turn on, it's about sports. Sometimes you turn on to something that's about the Caribbean or about a social matter. Sometimes about something happening in the news, like the Ukraine, Russian war, things like that. So we're following behind this truck carrying concrete blocks. In the Caribbean, especially in Trinidad, we build with concrete. Unlike those in North America who like to use a lot of wood, we use a lot of concrete, cement and stuff. Now, I know in the US they do build with concrete blocks for their foundation, and these look like foundation blocks. Going to somewhere to build, but there are places and businesses that will use those blocks as part of their walls too, especially lower walls, like ground floor level. And they will use a hollow clay red block for upper levels. So no matter how many stories, the structure of a house is always going to be cement and blocks of some sort, whether it be clay or concrete, and the columns are usually steel or concrete as well. Long time ago we used to build houses here a lot with wood, but that's phasing out. You hardly see them. They become almost like a historical artifact when you do see one. Now this is a main road, and as you can see there's always lots of traffic and it's busy. But one of the things that these long trips allow you to do, and when I say long, this video is about 2.5 hours or more long. Yeah, that's quite long, right? And that's going to Moruga and coming back all the way past Princess Town and going towards South Park Plaza in the San Fernando area. So the actual trip to get to Moruga, I think, within this video is about less than an hour, maybe. Yeah, I would say a little less than an hour. But once we reach Moruga, there are other places within Moruga that you may not have seen in my other videos that I will cover here. Trying to pick up all the nitty-gritty of Trinidad. And that's what this kind of video does. You get to see both left and right and the road and all that's alongside it, so that you get a real idea of what you're going to do. Now look how bad this road is, huh? Just look at that. One side of the road actually dropped. You can see the pavement on the left, pavement sidewalk, it's actually falling. And that's a common occurrence in a lot of areas in the south. Lots of land slippage, land sinking, and so forth. I cover a lot of that in some of my other videos. By the way, if you think that I am going to talk for 2.5 hours, you are mistaken. While I would like to do that for you, that is way too long. I'm going to talk now and again, here and there. You'll get some music in between and so forth. For those of you wondering why I don't leave background songs, well, yeah, I guess you're not familiar with JB's Man Cave, right? The issue is that first of all, I'm driving a truck. It has a loud engine, and if I left background songs to play, it will largely pick up the engine more than anything else, and you don't want to hear a ZD30 engine. It's just noisy. It's a diesel engine. The other reason is because I basically, with my family or with my sons or whomever, or maybe we might have the radio on, and you don't need to hear all of that. You don't need to hear all our conversation and stuff. Addition to which, background songs in these areas are nothing really spectacular. All you're going to hear is the other cars, horns, maybe loud music pass by. You're not going to really hear anything in particular. So that's why you don't hear background songs. There are videos where I do play background songs, and I specifically gear the video for that. It actually takes a lot of doing to make that happen. I would have to make sure I'm on my own, make sure I have the radio off, make sure I have the windows down, all kinds of stuff I would have to do to make that happen. It's not really worth it. I kind of do that mostly with walking videos, not driving. You see, like I'm doing a walk through a Princess Town or San Fernando or Port of Spain or whatever. Yeah, I tend to leave natural songs for you to hear what it's like. I did that once in Cuba, and one person was saying that they found that the microphone was picking up too much of the cars that were passing by. They could hardly hear what I was saying, so you really can't win. Some people want to hear the background song, some people want to hear me talk. It's a hard case to try and get it all right, but I'm trying. So basically, if I do play background songs, I try to lower it enough that you can hear me speak. And some of you have begun to look at what JB's Man Cave is about and decided to go back to my earlier stuff. When I first started this channel, I really didn't like talking. I still don't like talking much. And because of that, I just remained quiet. I used to create a lot of videos just using music, scenery and stuff. And then people kept nagging me to talk, and so I started talking. So all my videos now, except for certain ones, are just me talking. If it's short, I don't really say much. And for other videos where I haven't experienced a lot of it, I just give my commentary. So as you can see, we've begun to go down, I believe this is Moruga Road, heading south, or is this Matilda Road? I'm not sure. There's sometimes a lack of signage, so you can't really tell. In addition to which, we will actually be passing, on the way to Moruga, there are a lot of places that you can pass through. and so we are going to be passing through a lot of them. So I'm not too sure which part. I think that was Matilda, and then we went to Moruga. But anyway, we will be passing through many places like Indian Walk and Fifth Company and different villages. The problem is there isn't specific signage. Now sometimes you'll get a blue sign indicating that you enter in one place. That's a rarity. But I'm glad when I do see it. Anyway, I don't know where one place ends and one place begins because I'm not really from around here. So if you're watching this video and you're very familiar with the area, you can always chime in the comments area. Make sure to put the timeline, because there's no point saying, okay, you're in Fifth Company for now, right now, but you know, where are you talking about in the video? So put a timeline and in the, where in the video you're talking about, and that will allow us to know where it is you're referencing. Now, if you're not familiar with Trinidad, it's an island in the Caribbean. We were once a British colony and became independent decades ago. We don't speak like the British, and certainly have given up a lot of their ways. I think, if anything, most people crave more North American culture besides the local culture, more than a British or European culture, which is quite different. But things in the Caribbean are different, especially if you're from abroad, from North America or South America or Europe, and you're looking at this, you think, wow, what's all this about? This is another part of the road that has collapsed. On the right, you can see they're doing major work. So as you can tell, the roads here are terrible. Many potholes. And it's not unique to this particular road. It's all over the country. And no matter how many times I see the powers that be, say they're going to pave it or come with some kind of road project, it seems like every time they fill a pothole, there's another pothole. And a lot of the reasons for that is because there seems to be a lack of coordination between those that pave the road and those that dig up the road. So, those that pave the road will come and make a nice new road, like this piece of road right here. That's pretty good, right? But then a utility company, let's say like water and sewage, they're called WASA, will come and dig up the road to fix a pipe. But in digging up that road, for me personally, part of the completion is that you fill in and patch the road right there and then. But they don't do that. They just cover it with sand or filler, and then months pass, and that hole that they filled becomes gaping wide. It fills with water, it becomes muddy and so forth, and it starts to crack up the rest of the road. And that's typically what happens. Now, it's not all on WASA either. Sometimes, for me, illegal vehicles occupy the road. And what do I mean by illegal vehicles? You will get a tractor on the road, for instance. Now, tractors aren't made for asphalt. So you have this metal grinding into the asphalt. And if the asphalt hasn't been well set, it might be hot and pliable from the heat of the sun. What's going to happen is it's going to break up. So a lot of that happens. The other thing that happens is in areas like this, there's a lot of land. I don't know if it's called land slippage or sinking parts of the land, shifting land. But anyway, the earth beneath the road that has been paved moves, and when it moves, it creates cracks. and breaks, and that also causes potholes. Now, there was a turn off there on the right there by that school. That would have taken us to another video that I did. Maybe you saw it. It's one of the biggest potholes I've ever seen. And it's a good example of what happens when the land here shifts. It can take a whole house. And that's exactly what it did in that video. Make sure to look for it on my channel. I'll put a link in the description. So sometimes when you get a good piece of road, you're like, wow, this is a nice piece of road. People actually get excited, and then you hit a rough patch. Now you'll notice a lot of people build their houses right up on the road. That's because land is at a premium anywhere you go. Doesn't matter the area, rich or poor, land is at a premium. And so when somebody does build, they tend to build more concrete. Now these areas would be considered mostly countryside areas. It's not as developed as where you go closer to cities and towns. But even so, land is still, costly, so they maximize it with concrete. Growing up as a kid, you'd always see people with a fruit tree in their yard or stuff, but I guess it's cheaper to buy fruits than for it to take up your land. On the left there, you could see a wooden house and concrete and a more modern look and so forth. So you can see there's always a mixture of different types of houses in any given area. Those trees on the left, I believe, are fig trees, banana trees, one of the two. By the way, if you do plan to go to Moruga, I can tell you, wow, besides it being a very long trip, I mean, I wasn't bored or anything. It's always interesting to see new places. But let me tell you, the road is bad enough that it will severely slow you down. So I'm driving a truck. I have all-terrain tires and stuff, so it's meant to take a beating. But if you're in a car and you care about your shocks and whatnot, you'll end up driving slow. And as you drive slow, you'll find your trip take longer than usual. So your trip could have been lots faster if the road was smooth. One thing of these road trips, like I always say, I'm sticking to more or less the main road of the area. But there are always offshoot roads, and those offshoot roads take you to some interesting places that if you venture in there, you see a whole new world, whatever that world may be. We always tend to stay to the main road, but I like to venture off, as some of you who have been on JB's Man Cave will know. And venturing off, you always discover something about Trinidad that you may not have known before. And I go all deep within a road until it can't end. Now, I do have one regret in this video, is that I went all the way to Moruga and did not go to the end of a road that I normally would do. And I should have, because it would have taken me to a beachfront that has a nice view. But I am going to capture it at some point, and I'm going to leave it like that. Nevertheless, I do pick up a lot of Moruga and some of the areas that maybe you have not seen or have not seen for many years, because for a lot of Trinis, that's short for Trinidadians, going to Moruga is like a once in a lifetime trip. You go once and then you don't go again. And there's some dogs outside having a warfare. Of what kind, I don't know. I don't know if it's dogs against cats or dogs against dogs. Now, looking at those coconut trees ahead, one thing you will notice in a lot of these videos, you don't see many of those, right? Yep, we are in the Caribbean, but something I've always said, you just don't see many coconut trees, just a few here and there. You would have to go to specific places, and I do have a video for that as well, of places that you can go to see a lot of coconut trees. One such place is in Manzanilla, and another place is called Cedrus. Those places have all estates of coconut trees. But as a Caribbean island, I wish we could see more of these trees. Now, in these areas, in the outlying areas, where further away you get from cities and towns, you do see a lot of green. For instance, for me, this is a lot of green. You could still see people maintaining plants and trees and whatnot. And there's still a lot of open lots that haven't been developed. So that's good. But there's nothing like this in, when you go to a city. It's just concrete. And you may say, well, that's obvious, but no, because we're in the Caribbean, for me personally, my opinion is that there should be a promotion of green. Anyway you go, Trinidad has always been a country based on oil and gas. And so there never was this strong concentration for tourism like there are in other islands. But, the world is moving in a different direction, and tourism really needs to be part of our economy for any country, really. And so, as we invite people here, we need to give them that feel of, a Caribbean island, green, coconut trees, lots to see, flowering plants. We have some really beautiful flowering plants here. Plants with their own natural colors, like the croton. And hardly see any of those plants anymore. Hibiscus. You hardly see anybody with a hibiscus tree on the side of the road. And I remember as a kid growing up, we used to love to go and pick the hibiscus and do all kinds of crazy things with it. I won't even go into that. It's just crazy. But the point is that you would see them everywhere and you could always pick one. But now it's like, wow, you just don't see these things anymore. Now, as you can see, the day is cloudy, but very sunny, and not much of Saharan dust. Although they said it was so in the news, I don't see it really. There are some videos that you may have seen where there's a haze in everything, and sometimes it's gray. And you might think, oh, it's because of rainy, but no, that's just Saharan dust. So thick sometimes that it blocks out the brilliance of the sun and makes everything look gray. I actually have a specific video on a day that was really bad. I mean, it was literally like if it was snowing in the mountains. It was just so cloudy, and not with clouds, with Saharan dust, like a fog over everything. So when you get a clear day like this, you especially for the purpose of recording, I'm really glad for it. Now a lot of people come to JB's Man Cave too because they once lived in Trinidad and they've moved abroad and they want to see how Trinidad has developed. Well, this is it. You can tell if you lived in these areas whether things have moved forward or not. I wouldn't know because I'm not from here, and whenever we did come to these areas, to me it was more green. Whenever I revisit an area after maybe 5-10 years, it always looks like way more concrete, way more buildings and structures, but not necessarily infrastructural improvement, if you understand what I mean. Just more buildings, but not necessarily a development of the area. For instance, better roads, sidewalks. Like for instance, on the left or the right here, you don't see any sidewalks at all. Things like that. It's a nice house on the left we just passed there. People often ask me about Tobago. I will make a trip to Tobago at some point, just not right at this minute, or this moment, I should say. If you know why I create these videos, then you will know why getting around is very difficult for me. And if you don't know why I create these videos, you should check out more information on my channel. Go to the About section of JB's Man Cave on YouTube, or you could go to jboard.com or any of my websites and read the description to find out why I create these videos. People, some people will come on a channel and they will just assume everything about why you're doing what you're doing. I have a very specific reason of why I do what I do. Now you see this part here? This is green and nice. I just love that. I love when as it lasts. And then back to concrete again. Something I would like to see too is that, and I know it's just wishful thinking because people don't have the luxury of deciding their property, but I think that buildings should be built further back, not right on a road. There are regulations for that. In my little stint with architecture, I know you're supposed to build so many feet away from the road. I think it's 20 feet, I can't remember, and 8 feet on either side of your neighbor, of the wall. I can't remember all the measurements. If any of you have done local architecture or with town and country planning, you can always give me feedback, but really you're not supposed to have your house right up to the road. And in doing so, that would actually promote more green, because instead of your house being there, you'll be able to plant some plants like how it is on the left there, something like that, rather than a big concrete structure. That actually was one of the first things that amazed me when I went to England, especially in the places like Manchester City, where they have these big council estates. I was amazed that you'd be walking, well, there they call it pavement for sure. You'll be walking on the pavement, which is a sidewalk, and the door to the house was literally on the pavement or sidewalk. So that's how close it was to everything. Those big estates crammed together. And I used to actually think, wow, that's so congested. And now here is becoming similar. Well, not this particular area, but I'm speaking in general. By the way, on my channel I also cover the English Premier League. Any of you into football, make sure to follow it. I have a full playlist and I have lots of shorts that come out about the English Premier League and the predictions that you can make. You can always predict for your favorite team, whether it's Manchester United, Manchester City, Arsenal, Chelsea, whatever. You can predict and we can see if you're right. Now if you see cars like this one here pass me suddenly, you might think, well, wow, he must be going real fast. But sometimes people live in these areas and they know where every pothole is and they know every ascent and descent is and what's around the corner and stuff, so they can go a little faster. But as for me, I am taking my time because I am not so privy to where every pothole is or where the road slants or whatever, so I am more cautious. Plus, there's no reason to race because, see, like, look how bad that road was just slanting there. There's no reason to race because, you want to see the sights and scenery too, right? So, this is a good pace for me. Especially this part here. Look how green and nice that is. Look how bad the road is. It's collapsing there on the right, actually. And it's collapsing right here. You can see how the truck is trying to maneuver that. It's just wow. I guess in some ways that's part of the adventure when you have to dodge potholes and sinking roads. Now that's something that always concerns people of the south because they have to live with the worst of it. I think you could find some of the worst roads in Trinidad in the south. And the south is a big area, and in every area you have potholes. But let me tell you, living up north, we have some equally bad potholes too, really bad. The only thing I would say that's worse in south is the depressions in the road and the roads that are slanted and shifting. We don't have much of that in the north, but we do have some humongous potholes, and sometimes you will get a road riddled with potholes to the point that you really can't dodge it. You have to just go through it. And the funny thing is, this road seems to be a mixture of being paved yet still with potholes. Well, you can see here we're on a graveled part of the road, which means they are more than likely getting ready to pave it. But when? So as time goes by, that gravel there, the stone shift. Look at that! Wow, on the left. On the gravel shifts and becomes loose, and what happens? It creates more potholes, and it's like whatever work was done there has to be redone. So you may be wondering, so what is there in Moruga that's such a big deal? Well, I have shorter videos that shows Moruga. Moruga has a lot of historical significance in Trinidad, and depending on what side of the coin you're from, it varies between those that were Amerindians and the original people, first people that were here, versus the invaders, the conquerors, the Spanish with Christopher Columbus and his cohorts. But they both had a time or place in Moruga. Moruga has a very old church. Some buildings look like it's, 50, 60 years old. There's a beach, there's an unusual suspension bridge, just certain things that I think it's worth seeing at some point. And if you haven't seen it, you should. Now, on the right there, that's coming up, that statue there, that statue is of one of the first peoples. It's a monument. And I have a short video about that. If you ever get a chance, you can always stop and check it out. Look at how bad this road is. The road is so bad that it almost captures my attention more than what's on the left and right. Wow. You really have to dodge some stuff. Anyway, if you ever pass in here, make sure to check out that First Peoples Monument. I believe some of the first peoples, and somebody asked me who were the first peoples. Well, the original inhabitants and the ancestors of these islands are the first peoples. Some people loosely refer to them as Amerindians or Aborigines or local Indians, but they actually have tribal names and whatnot, which I'm not privy to. I did, a chief in one part of Trinidad did invite me to come and have an interview and talk and whatnot, but it's hard to pull myself all around. I really wish I could have like an office and people just come to me and I just record them all day, but that's not how it is in my world, and it's not the ideal situation. But I do have to get around to recording a lot of these things. I do have actually a video of talking about San Rafael and some of the areas up there and the terrible history and the terrible things that were done to the Amerindians of the time, or the Caribbeans as they were known in history. Sometimes life can be brutal. Definitely, life isn't meant to be fair, but when you have the whole imprisonment of a whole civilization of people, wow. So as you can see, this road may seem like it never stops, and that's the feeling you get when you're driving here, like, wow, it never stops. And you may think, okay, just now we're going to reach the coast, and just now we're going to see the beach, and no, you keep on driving. And again, that's, a lot of that has to do with the bad roads. And this is where having a good highway system could work, but that too is not easy when you have shifting land. This section of road is nice. Probably was recently paved. And if you have if you know you have roads like this, what would you have to do? Have regular maintenance, right? And that's what should happen. But that's one of the main problems with things in Trinidad and Tobago. Something would be established, like a road, or a building, or a place, and I don't know if people think it would just maintain itself, but no, it doesn't work like that. Heavy trucks, machinery, cars, bikes, people are passing on that up and down every day. So it needs to be maintained. Somebody needs to come around and say, look, X place needs this, and send out a crew and it's fixed right there and then. At least that's how they do it abroad, as far as I saw. I don't see why we can't do the same here. Do you know, we actually have our own pitch lake? That's right. Very few countries in the world could say that they have a pitch lake. Trinidad is one of them. We export pitch all over the place rather than utilizing it here to fix roads. I'm sure if something was done where communities was given the materials, I'm sure villagers and people will come out and fix those roads. They would be glad to, because they don't want their cars mashed up. In fact, some people have even taken it upon themselves to that in some communities where they just don't get any help or support. They literally come out and fix the road for themselves. I don't know if I was wrong or on this, but I heard people that be chastising them for doing that because they're interfering with the proper, quote unquote, proper way in which the road should be patched. And I'm now thinking, well, if the road is not patched and there's this pothole there for months and months, even years, what's wrong with them trying to make it better? What do you think? Tell me in the comments area. of my YouTube channel in this video. Something else that I think that is sorely needed. One place that's really good at this is Britain. They have these brown signs. We use the brown color as well. And these signs would have indications of how far you are from a certain place and the name of the place and so forth. So, you know, you're passing X place, you have so many miles to such and such, or this place was once whatever, whatever. You know, giving you information so as you pass, you can feel like you engaged with the area. But because there's no signage, there's nothing indicating where you are, where one place begins or ends. You really can't relate to anything. You're just seeing houses and green and that. Even I can't tell you where I am exactly right now. Those of you again who are familiar with time, how to use the timeline, feel free in the comments area to mark the timeline and to see where I am at various points. In order for you to do that properly, you would literally have to watch the whole video, at least going to Moruga. It's quite optional for you if you want to do it on your way back. Now, usually when I create any video for JB's Man Cave like this, where it's a long road trip, I record going and I record going back. And you may say, well, why do the going back if we already saw it? Well, I can promise you that going back is always a different look. Everything just looks different. You might recognize some things as familiar, but you see things at a different angle than you would have otherwise seen going to. Any going back is likely where I will play a lot more music and that stuff, except for giving some commentary here and there. But anyway, I try to talk as much as I can. So you know, it's like conversation, like if we were in a truck with me and you know you're talking about things. That's an old Bedford truck that just passed there. Wow, I haven't seen one of those for a long time. It's like, you know, we're in a truck, you're sitting together, you're talking about various things, and we're talking about things that we see and stuff. Similar, right? Now, one thing you may have noticed, especially if you're from another country, is we always have walls. I would say 95% of the time, if somebody has their property, they will have some sort of wall or fence around it. Because people like to maintain their, I wouldn't say always in the case privacy, but they want to maintain where they own and set a boundary between that and the public. So a lot of people here keep pets too, dogs, whatever. And you know, they don't want the animals running up and down. It's another patch of road that is ridiculous. Now, the time of day is around 2 or so, but you know, sometimes when you pass these hilly areas and you go into I won't call it a valley, but when you're near the base of the mountain or the hill, it almost seems like it's getting dark because the sun goes behind the hill or the mountain, and you may think so, but it's not. It's still early in the day. Now that shopping area in the right there, that's pretty much the last, as far as I could see, on the way to Moruga. I mean, there are small shops here and there, but as far as something well established, I think that was it. At least as what I recall. We're getting close. So if you ever meet somebody in Port of Spain and you ask them where they're from and they say, "Oh, I'm from Moruga," you get an idea of just how much they have to travel. And just imagine we started this journey in Princess Town, which is already considered. I wouldn't know if people would really say it's deep south, but it's in the south, and that's a far trip. So just imagine Princess Town back to Port of Spain. I was like, wow. So we're here in Moruga now. You could see all the structures, everything around, the buildings. Some on the left, that's a new building, which is a police station, and then things like that. As the old church on the left, we just passed the old magistrate's house, a bar, a school on the left, and that's St. Peter's statue there, fallen over. I have a good clip of that. And that is the beach front. So we're here at the end of the road, as it were, deep south. And as far as I understand from pictures, that the sand used to be much further out. So the shoreline was further back. And that's me there checking on things. Usually I do that. Now, you can see the video for that on my website, or I should say on my YouTube channel, where I walk around that area. And after that, I came to this area. I don't show the clip because I didn't realize my camera wasn't on. So getting from Moruga proper to here, which is near the cemetery and so forth, and this beach area here, you see the cross there, is supposed to be where Christopher Columbus came and planted a cross, according to some historians. I also have different videos for that. You can check all of those if you want to see those in particular. That's another beach area there. The waters here are kind of brown. I talk about that in my videos there too. It's Moruga beach front area. One of the nicest, well-kept places I have seen as far as a beach goes. You'll see that in the video as well. But we're not going to any of those places, at least not yet. My job here is to show you how I got to all the places that I recorded. So if you were to take this road will take you into some villages. And as you can see, the problems with the road itself does not change. Lots of potholes and broken up and whatnot. I believe the area is called Rufin. Some of you who may be from these parts or still live there can always keep me abreast. As far as I understand it, it makes a loop where it would take you back to the Moruga Road, and you could get back to Moruga Road by following this loop. But we are not going to go left, we're going to go right so that we could see the suspension bridge. There's a suspension bridge in this area. Those of you who saw my North Coast video would have seen another suspension bridge. And those are actually the only two suspension bridges in Trinidad. But as you can see, it's all very green here, and that's great. The sea is on your right, but we're not very close to it, so you can't see it. Then you can start to see some houses here. I can imagine that people who live this close to the beach must have a lot of maintenance to do with the sea blasts. Sea breeze contains a lot of salt in it, could damage your vehicle and whatnot. So again, coming in this part of the area, Moruga or Rufin as it's called. Again, even though you see this person ahead of me has a car, but he has to really take his time because there's just so much potholes. So it's not an easy trip. You can see some wooden structures on the left, some concrete mixed. Somebody has a little plantation on the right. Some coconuts. I believe those are all Chinese coconut. The yellow coconuts are my favorite actually. I always find they're sweeter than the green ones. But I'm not a coconut expert, so. See, like that wooden structure on the left? You used to see a lot of that when I was young. You don't see them much anymore. I like how that person has his area there to come out. So you see, you can go left, right? And if you go left, I would take you back to Moruga Road, pass through more of the village area there. But we're not going to do that, we're going right. Because we want to see the suspension bridge. And funny, you see how we are all the way out here and yet you still can't see coconut trees, right? Still amazes me that. I'm sure before Christopher Columbus even came here, there was probably coconut trees everywhere. And that probably helped sustain a lot of the people. Because coconut water is like life water. I don't know, development? I don't even know if sometimes it should be called development because we just seem to go further and further away from nature and things that could actually help us in a fast-paced world. You can see evidence of that. People eat the convenience of food, but then what? They end up by the doctor. They're overweight to the point of obese. They have heart problems, whatnot. If man used to eat well and eat properly and take things from the earth, green and healthy stuff without all this processed, and so they would be much healthier. That's not the case. Now I was surprised at this little portion here with all this activity. I guess this is fishermen, yeah. They're taking a fish and sorting them out. These guys, like, I don't know, they didn't want to move. Even though I was passing, they were really eyeing that fish for some reason. So anyway, this of course these areas here are largely fishing communities. Some kind of party going on here. I think left is some kind of community center. This part here, wow, it's really bad. Just imagine how bad this is on a sunny day. Can you imagine what this is like on a rainy day? And look at how slow I'm going, and I'm using a 4x4 all-terrain truck. Can't even imagine cars trying to pass through that, especially cars that are low to the ground. So there we are. The suspension bridge. Part of history. There used to be a a cocoa factory in this area, and this bridge, suspension bridge on your right, was part of what enabled all the cocoa and stuff to be taken from the factory to wherever else and processed. This is the road that I said I wish I had followed but did not. Dang it, I wish I did, because now I would have had to come back here. But I wanted, you see, the thing is, I wanted to see the suspension bridge. Is actually why I came all this way, and wanted to focus on that, and that's why I turned around. But after doing that, I should have continued on that road. Now that road has a little ways still, but it would have taken me to a beachfront. But I will attack it someday, because you know JB here. So we saw this whole thing, and make sure to take in a video for that, right? Where I showed the whole suspension bridge. And after we saw it and recorded it all, we left. Now this river here that we're going over, this river goes all the way to the ocean, and basically you could take a boat and have a boat ride through there's like a kind of a swampy look. I guess in high tide, fishermen will use that to get out to the sea, unless they do all their stuff right there in the river. I don't know. That bridge seems too low to pass anything other than a rowboat under it. Those of you who know better, feel free to chime in. I don't claim to be a historian nor to know everything, you know, so I'm always grateful for people, especially the older heads who grew up in some of these areas and know more about it, can talk about, you know, what is there and so forth. Maybe if you know more about the cocoa factory, that would be great too. So by the time we came back here, they had some sort of party swinging, some kind of thing going on there on the right with kids and stuff, and it's good to see people in the community having fun and having activities. Waiting for these people to pass here. And as you can see, people park on the road. There isn't a designated area for parking, so they kind of wait your turn, and as you get a chance, you go. Well, as you know, with most people in the south, like I always say, they're friendly, welcoming. No difference in these villages out here. You may get some looks, and when I say looks, I mean people, you know, as you're passing, somebody might glance you, but in a case where they could recognize you look like a outsider, they may look at you a little longer, but they don't mean any ill will. The only thing I would say is because this area is very remote, and if you do plan to come here, I would come with a group, and I would come with two vehicles. So if one vehicle shut down, at least one is up and running. Can assist. Make sure you have good tires, things in place. Check your battery, that kind of thing. Because one thing you don't want to do is to come all the way out here and then experience vehicle trouble. That would be really sad. So we're following behind this truck here. I guess these are fisher folk who are taking their catch or whatever it is they haul in there. And as we pass by all these houses, this is the way we came in, and now we're going back out and exiting. We're going into the sun, so the view may not be as grand. At some point I will head back north, and so the sun will be to our left in the west, and it'll be a little bit better. But now we head into the sun. It's not too bad. So you see how you turn there? You could take that road and I'll take you further up Moruga Road. Now, in this case, I wanted to go and record the beach. But maybe the next time I come down here, I will use that road. So you get this area from a different angle. Again, like I always said, the potholes just, slow you down. And in some of these areas where I stop, like I said, you can see the video for it where I get out of my vehicle. In these kind of videos, these drives, I don't get out. At least I don't get out with a camera per se to record. That's in my other videos. The camera in this vehicle stays in this vehicle. And while I have a stabilizer on it, you could tell how bad the road is. It just shakes just a bit. If you're watching on a small screen, you will notice, but if you're watching this on a big screen, you will see it. This particular road here, this piece of road would be good for bike riding. But I can't imagine being out here at night. Really isolated. One street lamp, then another one. Must be quite dark. Patches of darkness. What about driving? Do you like to drive? For me, I just do not like driving. I don't. Well, nah, I was gonna say that how bad it is to drive in Trinidad with the potholes and stuff, but coming to think of it, when I was in England, I did a lot of driving. I didn't like driving there either. Me and my whomever was my partner when I was in England. And when I say partner, I used to be a missionary in England, and sometimes they would give you different people to be your, they call it companion or partner. So you wouldn't be going out doing missionary alone. You'd always have your friend or your backup per se. So whomever they would put with me, we would usually argue about who was going to drive because none of us like driving because we would be driving all day, every day. I honestly don't know how taxi drivers do it. I know they earn money, that's their reward, but still, I can't see myself driving all day. I guess you had to be cut out for this kind of thing. Um, I would much rather be a passenger and record from there. Anyway, this is the Moruga Beach. And this is the car park area. I love how they have it. It's really nice. That's the beach waters ahead. You can see it's kind of gray brown look. On this side here, there's nobody. On the right, there's a lot of people. Well, nah, I shouldn't say a lot of people. There were a few people, but I didn't wanna capture them because I like to keep people's privacy and stuff. And I don't want to record people on the beach. I wouldn't want somebody coming to record me on the beach, so same thing. So from here on out is my path towards taking you all the way from here in Moruga to South Park Mall or Plaza. In South Park they call it Mall, South Park Mall. And that's a long trip. That's the Columbus Monument on the left there, and that's the cemetery on the left there. Both of those I have videos for. Make sure to look for them on my YouTube channel. So that's, like I said, that's a long trip. We're talking about an hour and 26 minutes from what I'm seeing here of driving. But in that drive, I will be passing through Princestown again. I will of course be passing through all the roads that I came and get in here, if you want to see that. But by the way, that road ahead is another way to get back to north, but that road is cut off. And when I say cut off, part of the road broke. It's no longer passable, so I can't go there. However, there is a village there that I would like to record one day, and I will have to come back here and do that. So there's a lot more to see. But in the meantime, I have to head back north. There's a museum somewhere around here as well. And there's interesting things that you could come and see which weren't open when I was here. But you see, you can see now what I was talking about, where you get a different angle, a different look going back than you would come in. So what I'm going to do is play my music for you. You can sit back, relax, take in everything, count your blessings. I continue to enjoy. This is what Trinidad looks like today, and this is Moruga Road on the way north. I really appreciate you watching. Please do leave your comments. Please like, share. And when I say share, not download the video and share it like if it's yours, but share the link to the video. If you see anybody plagiarizing my stuff as in copying it and putting it elsewhere, please let me know. I would like to keep my stuff on JB's Man Cave. My videos are not for other people's use. There's a specific purpose these videos are here, and that purpose needs to be kept, and it only helps me when it's on YouTube and it's watched on YouTube. So thanks so much for watching. Keep on looking. You have another hour and 24 minutes of me driving all the way back to San Fernando. Hope you can handle it.
just tell it, but I won't fall in, falling, falling, falling for you, I won't fall in, yeah.
jbmancave.com.
What you wanna see, or you wanna dance to? I don't know anyone who dance like you, yeah. Bum, bada, boom. In the party, dale, dale, dale. If you want to dance, just tell it. But I won't fall in, falling, falling, falling for you, I won't fall in, yeah. Just tell it, but I won't fall in, falling, falling, falling for you, I won't fall in, yeah.
jbmancave.com.
What you wanna see, or you wanna dance to? I don't know anyone who dance like you, yeah. Bum, bada, boom. In the party, dale, dale, dale. If you want to dance, just tell it. But I won't fall in, falling, falling, falling for you, I won't fall in, yeah. you wanna see? Are you wanna dance too? I don't know anyone who dance like you. Yeah, bum bada boom. In the party, dale, dale, dale. If you want to dance, just dale. But I won't falling, falling for you like one falling. Yeah, pump me on, pump me on, pump me on, pump me on, pump me on.
jbmancave.com. 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 Hey, so after that long trip, we are back here in Princestown proper. And how do I know we're in Princestown proper? You see that big mosque on your left there? That acts like a landmark when you're coming from the east, going west. You know you're near the center of Princestown. What slows you down, of course, is all the traffic. Again, I have a walkthrough video of going up and down here in Princestown. Make sure to look for it. Actually, I have several videos of passing through Princestown, but the walkthrough in particular is in detail and it's at a higher resolution. So especially if you're from Princestown, you might like to see it. Right now, I don't know, it's around 4:30, 5 somewhere there. So it's kind of like winding down time. Most things are closed, most of the people going home. Yet still there's all this traffic because, you know, it's Princestown, right? So everything has to be full of traffic. I think up ahead too there was a garbage truck clearing up all the refuse from the streets, market vendors, people, etc. So whenever you're going behind a garbage truck, you can expect to be slowed down and for there to be traffic. That's what was happening here. But at least you get to see Princestown on the way back, at least some of it. It'll look a little dull because we're kind of going into the sunlight. But like I said, this is not the only video of Princestown that I have. I have many others, and the walkthrough is probably the best. It captures some of the side streets and the market and so forth. So that was a long trip from Moruga up to here. It's good that you're still here and you're still listening and watching. So I'm going to continue with some music because this traffic is going to be forever. And usually when you're um, in traffic or whatever, you listen to the radio. Well, in this case, you get music, but you can always turn down the volume on this video and listen to your own music in the background if you want. It's all up to you how you want to do it. But I don't edit any of this stuff out. I always keep it here because that's part of what's making it real. You get to see what it's like driving around in Trinidad and what you would have to go through if you're going in a particular area. So if you were to go all the way to Moruga, you would have to consider that part of your trip will be this kind of traffic unless you take some other back road. But in this case, we wanted to go on San Fernando side, so for me, this was the fastest way out. Maybe other people might think otherwise, but I don't know. Not familiar with a lot of the back roads and didn't want to go somewhere where I'd be lost to what's going on.
What you wanna see, or you wanna dance to? I don't know anyone who dance like you. Yeah, bum bada boom. In the party, dale, dale, dale. If you want to dance, just dale. But I won't fall in, falling, falling, falling for you, I won't fall in. Yeah. What you wanna see, or you wanna dance to? I don't know anyone who dance like you. Yeah, bum bada boom. In the party, dale, dale, dale. If you want to dance, just dale. But I won't
jbmancave.com.
falling for you, I won't fall in. Yeah. I really miss you. I really miss you. Bum bada bum. What you wanna see, or you wanna dance to? I don't know anyone who dance like you. Yeah, bum bada boom. In the party, dale, dale, dale. If you want to dance, just dale. But I won't fall in, falling, falling, falling for you, I won't fall in. Yeah. What you wanna see, or you wanna dance to? I don't know anyone who dance like you. Yeah, bum bada boom. In the party, dale, dale, dale. If you want to dance, just dale. But I won't fall in, falling, falling, falling for you, I won't fall in. Yeah, just dale. But I won't fall in, falling, falling, falling for you, I won't fall in. Yeah.
jbmancave.com.
Bum bada bum. What you wanna see, or you wanna dance to? I don't know anyone who dance like you. Yeah, bum bada boom. In the party, dale, dale, dale. If you want to dance, just dale. But I won't fall in, falling, falling, falling for you, I won't fall in. Yeah. What you wanna see? Are you wanna dance too? I don't know anyone who dance like you. Yeah, bum bada boom. In the party, dale, dale, dale. If you want to dance, just dale. But I won't falling for you, I won't falling. Yeah, pumpa me on, pumpa me on. Pumpa me on, pumpa me on, pumpa me on.
jbmancave.com. 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 jbmancave.com.
what's in it for you? So what's in it for?
jbmancave.com. 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 jbmancave.com.